Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Strong Black Woman Support Group. I am your girl, Regina Renaye, the host of the Strong Black Woman Support Group podcast. I'm also the founder of Mindful and Melanated, the online community for everything mental health and wellness for Black women. I am joined today with two very special guests, Eryka Renaye and Dr. Akua Feathers. And we, ladies, are going to talk about what we are not bringing into 2025. I know a lot of folks have some thoughts about New Year's resolutions and things like that. But for me, I kind of want to talk about what we plan on leaving behind in 2024. Um, does who wants to jump this conversation off? Because it can go left real quick if I start.
Maybe we need to go left. Okay, this is what I'll say. I won't start with what I'm leaving behind first, but I'm going to say why I think it's significant that we're having this conversation because 2025 is about to usher in a whole lot of stuff that we have no idea what it looks like. Like we've been pretty consistent and predictable, and now it's some stuff that is still going to be consistent, but I don't know, it's unprecedented, as they would say, which I became to hate that word in
Yeah.
during the pandemic. But um, okay, I'll
But, but,
jump in.
but I was going to say pause before you tell us what you're not going to bring into. First, the folks who are new and who haven't met you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then jump into it, and then Erica will do the same after you go.
Okay. I am Dr. AkuaRose Feathers, and I am the Black Woman's Wellbeing Coach. And through trainings, one on one coaching, keynotes, and books and all the like, I help Black women to connect with their authentic self on their road to wellness and well being.
Thank you. And who are you? Chica, Chica, Chica,
Hi,
Chica.
everybody. My name is Erica. I am a nonprofit Salesforce consultant. I've been in the nonprofit world for over 10 years, and I just am always excited to be back to join Regina to have these conversations.
Thank you so much. So, Dr. Akua, we about to step into 2025. Things are happening. Things are moving, not necessarily in the direction we want them to move into. Like you said, these are some unprecedented times. Um, what are you not bringing into 2025?
Yeah, I think the first thing that I would say I'm not bringing into 2025 would definitely be my habit of ignoring that voice. We had a conversation, the three of us previously, where we were talking about how we're taught how to ignore that instinct on the inside of us, the one that will keep us out of all kind of trouble, but we learn how not to listen to it in favor of listening to all of these other voices, and then that's what gets us messed up. So um, a lot of things shifted in my life in 2024, and many of those shifts were painful. And one of the ways that I had to help myself through that healing process was to say it wasn't a surprise, because that voice very much told me, gave me the heads up, gave me some sort of warning at some point in all of these different situations that the choice I made could have looked differently. So moving forward, my I'm going to do a lot better about listening and tuning into that voice and then doing whatever the appropriate action is. So that's one thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, I like that you said that you want to listen to that inner voice, listen to your true authentic voice, and um, I don't know if you use the word ignore, but ignore the outside, the external noise, right? And for me, that is definitely something that I want to leave behind is ignoring that inner voice. I want to leave behind living for everyone and everything but Regina. So, and I've said this said this before. I have taken certain professional and personal paths based off of what I was told I should be doing.
Mm,
This is from family, this is from educators, this is from the media, right? So I can give you a very simple example. I thought for a very long time that I wanted to be an attorney. I even went to a whole pre-law magna high school because I wanted to be an attorney. But did I really want to be an attorney? No, I wanted to be a writer and a talk show host. And sometimes I wanted to be an astronaut, and sometimes I wanted to do autopsies. But the point is, I still kind of want to do autopsies. If I had time, I would go to medical school and be a forensic pathologist. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm raising my hand. How does a person want to do autopsies? We can talk about that later. I just want to unpack that later. I just want to put it out there. How is that? Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I like forensics. I like
Right.
forensics.
Oh, I love
Um,
that. Okay.
yeah, yeah, I really I actually do like forensics. Anyway, um, so for a long time, I thought I wanted to be an attorney because I was told that I wanted to be an attorney. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be an attorney. I'm going to be successful because attorneys make money. Um, my earbuds are cutting in and out on my end. Can you guys hear me okay?
Mhm.
Okay, great. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to become this high powered attorney or whatever, make all this money. And um, I realized that's really not what I wanted to do. Like what I'm doing now is what I wanted to do all along. So like how you say you want to listen to your inner voice, I want to listen to little Regina because little Regina just wanted to write. Little Regina just wanted to be a talk show host. Little Regina wanted to dethrone Oprah. Oprah, I'm coming for you. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding. I'm coming for you. No, I'm kidding. Like seriously, you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I'm not on in a studio in LA doing that, but I'm
they don't know.
still
They don't know that.
the people know that.
Inner Regina, young Regina wouldn't say that.
That is
Ooh.
true. You see? You see how they clocking my tea in real time?
Can I just say though, and this is not coming for you, but those are the ways that we just easily slide in and out of how we were taught to talk ourselves out of what we desire and what we want. We don't even notice that we're doing it, and we need a friend to be like, little Regina saw a castle, like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, and I think and that's one of the reasons why I founded the Strong Black Women Support Group in Mindful and Melanated because um, I think we definitely need community, right? Because we're all of us right now and on this Zoom call, we're all on the healing journey, and like how Eryka did that, like I don't want to use the word correct, but for lack of better words, she corrected, right? And if I would have been by my lonesome, ruminating, I would have never got that correction, if you will. And so that's why I feel like spaces like this are super duper important for us. I'm not saying you got to click up and get a bestie, but having spaces like this where we can support each other, I think is very important. So another thing I'm going to be leaving behind is being afraid to ask for support, because for a very, very long time, that was a big thing for me. Hence why I have the Strong Black Woman Redefine conference, because I really thought asking for help was a sign of weakness.
yeah, yeah, and what's interesting, and I'm not minimizing by any measure, this is one of the reasons why the communities that you've cultivated is important. The community that you cultivated is important because we don't we don't see it when we're doing it by ourselves. Like you said, if I was in your house by my lonesome, I don't really catch it because that's the narrative that I've believed. That's the
Mhm.
narrative that I've heard. I've spoken that way for X amount of years. And so now you get into this community and you have somebody who be like, oh sis, let me help you with your crown real quick. You didn't mean that. That ain't what you meant. Let me help you
In,
with that.
in the most loving way at that. It's something that's
Yeah.
positive, not like, oh, being shady or whatever, nothing like that. But I think for me, um, I want to leave indecisiveness in 2024. Um, I find myself, I know the answer to things. This is like, I want reassurance when, why both of y'all linked in the camera like that? What's going on? You know,
It's good. It's nuggets.
so you leave my indecisiveness. And I know plenty of times, here she go. Plenty of times I ask Regina, what do you think I should do with this, and this, and that third? And I'm waiting for the answer of what she would recommend. And I won't lie, it pisses me off sometimes, but I know it's from love. She'll be like, well, Eryka, what do you want to do? And I'm like, that's not what I'm
I'm
asking.
asking you.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. That's what I'm asking you. So I think, well, I know more often than not, I know what I want to do, but I feel like I need the reassurance, or not even validation, but the reassurance to make sure that I'm on the right path. Like, do you think I should do this or that? And like, well, what do you want to do? Well, I'd rather do this because of whatever, whatever. And she's like, okay, then do that. Just like that. Do that. So I want to leave, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I want to leave indecisiveness in 2024. And I also want to leave, um, not advocating for myself in 2024. I think in certain spaces, or even like at work, I may need certain tools, or I may need certain resources, or where I've exhausted all my resources for something. But instead of asking, like you said, for support, I won't, or I'll just fend for myself, and it makes things harder sometimes. So I think even with like the doctor's office, if somebody's not giving you the right bedside manner, or they're not listening to you, or even if you're in a grocery store, somebody's too close upon you, hey, excuse me, can you back up a little bit? This is my boundary, and I'm advocating that it's too hot to do this. Okay, just go away. So I think those are the things that I want to do. And then also one more thing, self-doubt. I think this year, I hate the word imposter syndrome, but it happens. I think this year, the last 6 months, I know. I remember you said that at the conference. The last 6 months have been a little, different for me or whatever. And I think self-doubt has creeped in. And someone told me at a tech conference that you're not an imposter. Someone told you that you were an imposter. So the imposter syndrome is not you feeling that way about yourself. Someone else told you that you're an imposter, and they are telling you that you don't belong when you know you belong. So don't feel that within yourself. So I think a lot of times, like, I may know something, or I may not, the part about being indecisive, but when it comes to work or something, when I know that I know something, and I'll hype myself up, like, pop your shit, like, you know this, and then I'm like, I don't know if I really don't. Do I know it or do I not? But I know it, and so I want to, leave that behind as well.
Can I just say that you said a lot, Eryka, right? Because, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the three things that you mentioned is a common thread. And I think, and forgive the phrasing, but I think it is a lack of confidence, right? So you were taught to doubt yourself. You were taught to be indecisive because I can't trust myself enough to make a decision, right? I can't trust myself enough to advocate for better bedside manner. I can't trust myself enough to speak up in work settings, right? However, so that's one thing. I shouldn't have said however. So that's one piece that I heard. Another piece that I heard, but it's only because I have real life experience with you, right? Earlier, the three of us were on a call, and we were in a planning session for our shameless plug, our 5 ways to slay your
Ooh.
self care in 2025 and beyond. Okay, with the one and only host of the Strong Black Women Support Group, Regina Renaye, and our doctor of residence, Dr. AkuaRose Feathers. Anyway, so all jokes aside.
Never miss a moment for a body roll. Always take it. Always.
But while we were having that brainstorming session, because we co-work, so that's one of the perks of being part of our support group is we do co-working. Anyway, we were like muddling through something, and you were like, "Hey, why don't you say X, Y, and Z?" And Dr. Akua was like, "Yo, that's dope. That like you like it was because what you said was so simple, but it was and we over here like, ooh, what should we say? And we try to be all complicated. He was like, why don't you just do this? And after Dr. Akua hyped up your suggestion, what was the first thing you said? I would have never spoke up like that at a work meeting.
Mm-hmm. Because I would have thought it was dumb, where it was like that don't make no sense or anything, when it was, you know, genius.
Which brings me back to the original point was you were taught to self-doubt yourself, right? So that space that you couldn't speak up in, what's the common denominator? You're in a colonizer space. You're in a white dominated space, right? And I'm not saying that. Oopsies, I lost my earbud. Um,
That was a
don't be making
colonizer.
fun of me.
That was a colonizers.
That
Pulling
was the
out your ear.
colonizers. I know, right? We
Got you for
speaking
us.
ill of us. I'm not saying, some rando white person was like, "Oh, you should not have confidence," but you had learned through osmosis that I don't belong here, therefore I can't speak up. But when you was with us, two other black women, you felt so comfortable. You was like, "Why don't y'all?" And you said it with all like, duh, bitch." Like, why y'all
Yeah.
making this complicated? And so I don't know. I don't even know if I had a point with what I was trying to say, but I think part of what we need to do is, like you said, you don't need validation. You need reassurance. So I think one of the things that I need to work on this myself is self affirming,
Mm.
right? Reassuring myself and not seeking it from external sources,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, even though we affirmed you when you gave us that idea,
Right.
but you didn't feel hesitant to give the idea because you
Right.
were already self-affirmed in it.
Right. Right.
Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. Listen, I like you for that. It's beautiful.
I I have to say, so first of all, you are right up my alley with the whole imposter syndrome thing. I literally wrote a brown paper because we don't write white papers over here. Boom. I wrote a
Oh,
brown
that's right.
paper that talks about that very thing, and it's naming exactly what you all are speaking to. I don't like to say imposter syndrome. I call it external invalidation syndrome, and that is
Mm.
exactly
Mm,
somebody else created the narrative that you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, you ain't never, you wasn't supposed to, da, da, da. And it's societal. It's not just something that we came up with. We get, nobody blatantly says it, but think about it when you were in elementary school or junior high or in some other setting that was created. It's another white space. When you, as a little black girl, said, "I got an idea. Maybe we should take a rocket ship to the moon." Well, come on, Akua. There's no such thing as taking. You're too young to take a rocket. Right there. They didn't say, "Oh, come on, you idiot." They didn't say that, but guess how I felt? And then the next
mm,
time I had an idea, I said, "Oh, I got an idea, family member. Maybe we should, do blah, blah, blah." That don't make no sense. They're never going to let you do, right? Those are the ways that we get the idea that we don't know or that we shouldn't or that we can't. And that lends to those moments when we are indecisive. It lends to those moments when we ignore that voice inside of us, because all around us, the messaging that we get repeatedly is how am I saying that right? I was going to say how much we aren't. We repeatedly get these messages that degrade us or minimize us or suggest that we are less than. And so somehow we internalize that, just like we're all familiar with internalized racism. And that's when somebody who is, we'll say, Black, um, has hate for themselves or for those who look. We also have that internalized inadequacies or internalized criticisms and critiques. And they show up in different ways for different people. For me, it's ignoring the voice that's inside of me. For you, it might be indecisiveness. However it shows up, it does. And we get to a point as we are right now where we're like, no mas, we're not doing that no more.
mm.
What was it called? You said external imposter
External
syndrome.
invalidation
Thank
syndrome.
you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say another thing I'm not taking with me. And I feel like this connects with what we are saying already, and I know it connects with things that happened in 24 for me, is shrinking to fit into spaces that
Mm.
I'm not doing that. And what that looks like in relationships is I know, and listen, watch what I'm supposed to say, because this I know I'm gonna say it. Oh, clearly I gotta work on this.
Talk your
Okay.
shit.
I'm pissed to. Then gas me up. Gas me up. I'm finna
Get it
get
Get
off.
it,
off.
girl. Get
Let
it,
me get you a
girl.
fan. Let me get you
Get
a
it, girl.
fan.
Get
Go
it,
ahead.
girl. Get it, girl. Get it, girl.
I know that I shouldn't be in this space with you because you talking on this level, but I got dreams, visions, plans, and goals and outcomes on this level. So I don't think that I'm better than you. I want better for me. So I know that we are not compatible in that way. I know that my dreams and my visions are big, and you still over here trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents. You're trying to survive. I'm working on thrive. We are not the same. And so shrinking to fit myself, to fit myself into those spaces looks like having these big dreams and sharing them with people who aren't moving forward in their dreams, who aren't moving forward in the goals and the plans that they have, and then putting myself on mute. No, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't write a book for strong black women. You're right. No, I shouldn't do that because that's stupid. It's right. What I should do instead is just study some more, or you know what I mean? Putting myself in these small spaces with people who don't dream, who don't hope, who don't believe, who don't innovate. You're still on some of that old stuff, and I'm trying to go further. That's shrinking. And it's
Yeah.
even uncomfortable for me to say it in this moment, but I ain't bringing it to 25 with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like the whole if you if a person, place, or situation does not align with my values and what I want for myself, that is being left in 2024.
Hmm.
And I don't care if this is a family member, if this is a friend, even if it was a mentor who helped me in some kind of way, because I there are certain people in my life who have done things for me, and I'm super grateful, right? But they you do one thing for me, now I'm freaking indebted to you for the rest of my life.
Forever. Forever. Hmm. And
So now, not only did you do this one thing for me, and I'm indebted to you for the rest of my life, right? But because you did that one thing for me, I was here. Oops, I was here, but now I'm here. I'm trying to get up here, but you're like, oh no, 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 you can't get up there, Regina. You believed me. You believed in me enough to get me from here to here, but you don't believe in me enough for me to go from here to here. Boy, girl, you got to go.
yeah.
You got to
And
go.
Yep.
those are the people who criticize the dreams, the plans, and the goals that you
Mm.
have. They don't have any accomplishments of their own. And this is not me coming for somebody. It's literally, this is one of the parts that hold, maybe I'm gonna leave this in 24 as well, because trying so hard not to sound offensive when I'm only speaking what's true. If you don't want me to say the thing that sounds offensive, then don't do the doggone
Don't
thing.
do it.
But they want to stay close to you so they can leech off of some of that energy that you have because they can't go out and get it themselves. But they want
And
to
we'll
also
make
bring you
sure,
down.
absolutely, and we'll make sure that they say enough things so that you will not believe in your ability to soar. My daddy used to have this hat when I was little, and when I was a kid, I read everything. I read if it's words on it, bumper stickers, clothing, hats, labels. He had this hat. It said, "It's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by a bunch of turkeys."
Mm.
It just fascinated me because I was like, "Oh my god, it's so funny in such a weird way." I was such the geeky kid. I loved me. Um, but me being an eagle, hanging around people who cannot fly. And then when I'm like, all right, well, I'm finna go hit the top of that tree real quick. What do you mean you're gonna hit the top of that tree? Why are you trying to get up there on top of the tree? I
That's
mean,
dumb.
everything you need, it's right here on the ground. Like they just sprinkled the grain. Why you just don't eat the grain with us right here? And who goes on top of a tree anyway? What do that look like? Why would you want to do something like that? Why you just can't walk up on top of it? Why you gotta fly up there?
It's so weird.
Like, where they do that at?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like again, those people who like to stick around you in those spaces like that and minimize everything that you do. Like, oh, I see you got your little this, your little that, or okay, I see you with your whatever, whatever. All right, and it's not like you hyping them up like that. It's there's some jabs behind it because they haven't accomplished what you've accomplished. So you may have bought a car. Oh, I see you with your little Rolls Royce. Like, no, that's big Rolls Royce to you, boo. Like, okay, I see you with your little Rolls Royce. Like, little.
You know what? I'm laughing because that is some shit somebody would say.
Hey, I see you with your little Rolls
It is.
Royce. Okay, I see you with your little Gucci bag or your little nails done. Like, well, damn, I work hard.
Period.
Like, and it be people that's close to you
Period.
that you think, man,
And
because
then,
that's what it is. If you figure out who those haters are, when they're like, oh, when you have something that you're happy about. I never forget. Well, I won't go in. That's a little too personal for this conversation. But Regina hyped me up last week about something, and I showed her something that I accomplished recently, and she's like, I'm proud of you. Like, this is dope. This is really good. And I'm like, someone else just like, oh, why you doing that? Oh, why? And I'm just like, I knew I should have left you so many
In
years ago.
2020, I should have left you in
Hello?
2019.
Not even in the 2000s. Well, maybe early 2000s, but whatever.
wow.
Whereas like it made me think like, okay, this person over here is like, I'm proud of you. Like you did your thing. And somebody else is like, oh, okay, I see, whatever. Why you doing that? And I'm just like, I'm happy about this. But my little Rolls Royce, let's bring that example.
No, that is. Let me tell you something.
No,
I
seriously.
went to the Strong Black Woman Redefine conference last year for the first time, and I stay on Regina's jock. She probably getting sick of me because I stay on her jock about that doggone conference. That was one of the, and I'm a conference girly. I will, man. I used to stay in a conference. I got the bags and the T-shirts and all the little knickknacks and the things that they give, and they were great. But this conference blew my freaking mind. And I stayed like, oh my gosh, this was oh, I just love it. This all like because it was phenomenal. Like I'm over here telling people, no, yo, what you doing in October? Like you gotta come to this
Right.
conference. Not a game. You have to come because it was a big deal. The hater, oh well, how many people came? Oh, how many did all your speakers show up? What was the venue like? Oh, it was cold outside. See, no. See, I wouldn't do no conference when it's cold outside. You wouldn't do no
If,
conference.
if you can't afford it,
You
just say
never
you
did
can't
a
afford it.
conference.
You can't afford the little registration fee or the little
You
whatever you
wouldn't
want to
do it.
call it.
You couldn't do it. You don't have the planning skill. Like, and I'm not coming for people. I'm saying at this point, I am tired of shrinking to accommodate somebody else's insecurities. If you want to learn how to do a conference, just say that. If
Just
you want to learn how
ask.
to also get yourself a Rolls Royce, just say that
Just
instead of
ask.
just ask. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm about. Like I had to push, struggle, and go through some things to get to where I am. My goal is so that nobody else have to do that. So just ask.
Just
I can no
ask.
longer be around those people because it's like leeches.
Yes.
They, you know what I mean? They suction on to you, and then it keeps you from doing it keeps you from soaring as high as you want to soar.
Gina, what did you
Right.
call it? What
And
did you call it, Gina?
an energy vampire.
There you go.
I'm gonna put a
Mhm.
pin in that because I want to talk about that for a second. But to your point about just say you would never even plan a conference. And I know we talked about um, not worrying about offending folks. So I'm gonna say a story. I don't think they're checking for me. So I'm just gonna say the story, right? Because this is my truth, and I'm gonna tell you how this person was a hater. And even my mom is the one that actually pointed it out, right?
Oh, mm,
So there's a this particular person is a really really close friend to close family member of mine. I don't know if they saw this particular family member as a mentor or or whatever, but they were like this, okay? And um, they would do anything for this particular person. And because I'm associated with this family member, they in turn said, anything you need, I got you. Now, rewind, Regina used to be afraid to ask for help, right?
Mm.
So fast forward, Regina's like, I'm going to start asking for help. So I call this particular person, and I know they do events locally to where I'm at. And now that I'm saying the story, I'm thinking about another incident where this person was being a hater. But anyway, let's focus, Regina. So I wanted some assistance with getting vendors for the conference that Akua was just talking about. Those vendors are so amazing. Oh my god. Anyway, so
Yes.
I had maybe like 10, or at this particular time I think I had like 14. I had 14 vendor tables that I still had to sell. And I asked this person, I was like, hey, do you mind spreading the word about my conference? Because I know you do events and I know you know a lot of people who do vendors. Because this particular person had actually promised me a list of their vendors, but I never took them up on the offer. But this particular time I was in a crunch. So I said, let me reach out. And they're like, yeah, sure. Like, um, well, how much does it cost to buy a vendor table? And I was like, oh, it's like 260 or whatever for a vendor table. It's you get two chairs and you get breakfast and lunch, da da da. Oh, I don't know anybody who would pay $260 for a vendor table. Yeah, I don't think I can help you. So I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, but this is the second time I'm charging this amount, and I've had people, buy vendor tables. Well, you must be lucky, or some little snark little comment they made, or whatever. And so I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, all she had to say was, I don't know how to get people to pay $260 for my vendor tables for my events. That's all she had to say.
I just go to craft shows and display my stuff there. Just say that.
I don't know how to get people to just say you don't know how to get people to pay a
Try,
fee.
friend.
Just say that. And you know what?
But
In,
here's the thing, Akua, before you say that, anything you need.
yes,
That's number
yes.
one. Number two, how you count on other people's money? You don't know what somebody would spend. And even still, if they say no, they say no. All I'm asking you to do is share the information.
That's too much.
You literally, I write out the email. All you literally have to do is forward it. Cool. You know how I work. I will set you up for success. If I'm asking you to help me with something, I will literally write the whole thing out. All you literally have to do is copy paste. Erica, you know how I am.
Yeah. But that's
I'm
also
anal.
helping contribute to your success. It's not helping
Exactly.
their success to outdo you. And it's not even a competition.
It's not a
That's
competition because we do two separate types of events, boo. Like
but see,
I'm not trying to dethrone you.
but here go the thing that's crazy. Because I bet you I don't know this person from Adam or Eve. I wouldn't if I sat next to them, I wouldn't know it was them. But I bet you if you talk to this person, they have a rhetoric that claims that they support people and they always got people's back and they're always, I'm the and then it's moments like this that define who you really are. Because at the end of the day, what if it was me? I could have been like, oh yeah, you know what? I don't know if my contacts can pay that. I'm going to give you their list, and then the next opportunity I have is the people who came to yours. You're going to share them with me because I got stuff, and when we vend, I sell products, so I want to know about as many events as possible. So there could be that little community where we're sharing opportunities for vendors to vend, for you as a host. And I'm just gonna say, side note, because sometimes I'm petty, your vendor hall was full. I'm done.
I said they go
Okay,
to craft shows.
And it wasn't
listen.
janky vendors, it was good
Right.
people. I got
Listen,
some stuff.
I
I
spent
got
some
a
money.
I
listen.
had a vendor from Canada. No, I'm
Now.
just saying.
I couldn't
Not
take
to
anything
tell
on the
my.
plane. I had to have mine shipped.
Thank
That's
you.
how good it was.
All your
Okay.
stuff.
I'm so serious. I had to order with them, and they had to ship it to me because I couldn't take it on the plane. I was like, And she said, "Be careful. You go to the vendor table." I was there bright and early. I'm like, well,
I did.
that.
it just speaks to that type of personality not being the folks that we need to be around. Those are the kinds of people who I would previously shrink because you can't get nobody to pay that much for your vendor table. Then I'm going to be like, well, maybe I shouldn't be charging,
Lower
you
my
know,
price.
and
Right.
I'm lowering myself to fit into your limitation. No, ma'am. No more. No, no mas.
So my ticket price for my con, and I hate to dominate this about the conference, right? Because this is
Please.
not this is in no
What did I
means
say
me
it
trying to
here?
promote it. I mean, I probably should promote it, but this is
I hope you would.
but this same person and others told me, "Oh, your ticket prices are too high. Your ticket prices are too high. No one's gonna come. Your ticket prices are too high." And I'm like, now, then I had a conversation with someone who actually does like large events, like I mean Microsoft type events.
Hmm.
They're telling me your ticket prices are too low. And you
Say
give
that.
and you give people too much. You feed
Say that.
them?
And Fed
Food,
is good.
food. Hello.
You understand what I'm saying? And I'm
Food.
also going to say, because sometimes I'm petty, the conference was full. Every single I, every once in a while, I'm petty, and
It
I'm gonna go.
was.
It was
It
full,
was
and I love what you just said because yes, my ticket prices are too high
for
for
You.
you.
you, because there's a whole other group of people who think that's it. That's all you paying? I mean, charging, and we get all of these bomb ass what you call it, breakout rooms and workshops, and you feeding us food. The hotel was beautiful, and it was cold outside, but you can't control the weather. But it was it was really really pretty out there. Like everything that you were over and controlled. It was wonderful. I did not see any issues with anything that went down. Somebody gonna pay that amount.
I cried at every session that I went to.
She did. She did. She
Wow.
was texting me the whole
I
time.
cried at every session that I went to. And I'm a,
Girl.
I'm a crier. Lately, I've been a crier. No, I'm not pregnant, but I've been a crier. I've been very emotional, like for things, especially for things with my friends. But seeing the conference, you know, everybody just had a great time, and we connected. We had emotional moments with each other, and expressing things that was going on. I cried at every session that I went to,
It
and
was
I
it
Yeah.
had
was
an amazing time.
it was for me, like literally from beginning to end, walking in and just seeing this sea of women who look like me, and then to the point you're making, inside the workshops, hearing the different individuals share and hearing our shared stories, triumph, shared stories of trials and all, like hearing those shared stories, and also knowing that we were there to get that activation, to be able to get that launch and that push and that propelling. One lady actually said, she said she's been coming every year, and she was like, this is where I I
You
can't say the
feel
word. Thank you. This is where I refuel myself. And I was like, first of all, I think that's dope. Secondly, sis, don't wait all year. She got a whole support group. Like, come through. But it was beautiful. Even, and I facilitated a session, and it felt so good that I didn't have to say everything. Like I'm up getting ready to say something, and I'm like, and you know how it go down when you something, somebody in the back was like, when they do such and such, and everybody in the room just erupt because we all know what we're talking about, and we can share those experiences as we are all aiming for the same thing, which is elevation. Whatever we're elevating, we're aiming for that same thing. So
I want to
no
I want to
more.
be I want to be petty and add on to your petty train. And you had some heavy hitters in the building. It wasn't just no little people. You had some doctors and business owners and women who were about their business, not just no little people. People want to call it, but they came out for you. People came
Listen,
out, and yeah, it was a great experience.
it was period.
Yeah. I appreciate that. And it's like circling back to the point, like when Nakua was like she's no longer shrinking herself, because like I literally have contemplated lowering my price. I've vendor ticket and attendee ticket, right? because of comments like that I received. And these are people who were quote unquote for the community. You know what I mean?
And you do this on
Yeah.
your own. You do this on your
And I
own.
literally on my own.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a
No,
team.
no more.
I know, right? No more. No more.
2025, we're asking for help.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely that shrinking violet shit that stays in
This is your fifth
2024.
year, right? People
Mm-hmm.
can't put on a
It's,
conference, a successful conference in 2 years. This is your
Fact.
fifth year on your own. So shrinking yourself is not even an option in the sense of, this people may want to be like, oh, I want to figure out how I can do a conference or whatever. Just ask. If you are humble enough to be in my space and, want to be a mentee or just be somebody that's a nice, positive, encouraging, and supportive person, we can have a conversation and I can give you
mm-hmm.
possibly tips and tricks or whatever. But to minimize what I'm doing and say that nobody's going to pay this price, and it's my fifth year on my own doing this, got vendors, sponsors, all the works. Like, please, come on. And you and
I
government partners.
Yeah. I would love to say, like, and this part for real, there's no shade. There's Petty LaBelle is away. She's away for this moment. In one of the things that I give, I don't know, I guess credence to, is that you are where you want to be. So we're talking about what we're leaving behind in 2024, what we're not bringing into 2025. One of those things being shrinking myself. At the end of the day, there is somebody, the level that I'm refusing to shrink to, there is somebody who's comfortable there. And if
Mm,
that's where you're comfortable being, stay there. No shade. Because what I'm not going to do is yuck your yum. I'm also not going to argue with you for something that you don't want. So if you're in a situation where somebody is elevating and you don't like whatever it is that you don't like, that's your burden to work through. Let them be great. Like literally the lady who you asked for support, her answer could have been like, "Oh, I can't help you. I don't know nobody like that." Leave it alone. That's what it is. I don't have to try to minimize you or degrade you or make you not make you feel, but say something that's intended to like insult your efforts. You're doing something I've not done. And I don't think I know anybody that can be in that space. So I don't have nobody, but I'll keep my ear out for you. And if I hear somebody, I'll pass the word.
But
Like,
one thing,
stay there. No,
yeah,
no, go for it.
one thing about that is, Virginia, you have to think about it. You started all this for you.
mm-hmm.
All
Mm-hmm.
this started before the conference and all that. This whole support group started because you wanted to do something for you. It was just you. There was no group. This is for you. So for somebody to come in and say whatever, like no, that maybe you're not fit to be in my world or in my presence
Mm,
at all, because all of this was about me, and not even in a selfish way, but I did this for
right.
myself, and it grew so much because other people can benefit from it as well. So it wasn't even about you and the prices and all that I charge and all that. It started from somewhere within of something that I was dealing with, that I wanted to, say, how can I do this, or what would I want for myself? And that's how all
Exactly.
this started. So like Dr. Akua said, minimizing yourself and shrinking yourself from a vision you just had by yourself. No, we're not doing that in 2025. Wherever you're going to stay in your lonely, dark, unkind world, if that's what we're doing, you're going to stay over there. Because no, 2025 is not. We're about positivity and sunshine, rainbows, and sunflowers, of course. But we're not gonna let anybody, dim our light or try to make you feel small. Like, oh, your little conference, and oh, this is number 5. This is just year number 5. Little conference. Some conferences don't last that long, or you'll hear about a conference. Remember, I told you I was in a Facebook group, and they were posting all of the conferences for 2024, and your conference was listed. Now, this was was it the Black Girl in Tech page? I think it is, and they have some heavy hitter conferences. And you're like, oh, my conference on, girl, yeah, your
I was,
conference is on there.
I was like, how that happened?
This ain't no little conference. This is your conference. You on here with the heavy hitters. You're on here with Afro Tech and Salesforce conference. Like, you're on this list as well. And it wasn't
I
just
still ain't seen that list, by the way.
well, I'll find it for the year. Okay, I'll make sure I send it to somebody and give it to them this year. But no, like this is a thing people
Yeah.
are noticing you, even if they don't come. She noticed you. she may not say anything, but she watching. And other people in the surrounding area or whatever, they're also watching. People won't say anything. Maybe you'll get to year 10 and it's like, oh, I've always wanted to attend. Did you now? Now you see that there's the hype, and we got, I don't know, whoever the next singer go be. We got Glorilla or somebody coming to perform. I don't know.
Oh, that would be so good.
Dochi, I've heard Dochi. I'm just saying.
Somebody. So now that you hear like, oh, it's popping, it's the latest thing or whatever. Like, no, I've been doing this for 10 years. So no, don't minimize what I have going on, because it's not something that you're willing to work for or seek out for, or no, we're not doing that in next year. This next year. Couple days.
Couple days.
And I always tell you, I'm very proud of you, because we met in college. We was just broke students.
Community college.
So yeah, and I was young and annoying to her then, but here we are. But she couldn't get rid of me. But it's just like,
I tried.
So amazing to see the growth of just life in general. It just, I don't know. I just think people can go different paths, and you chose yours, and it's not a little path. I'm keep saying little. People love to say, "You're a little this, you're a little that."
Your little thing, your little degree, your little. Yeah, and I feel the same way about you too, Eryka. Like, because listen, like she said, she was. I mean, our age difference, like biologically, is not that big of a difference.
Girl,
but
I'm young.
Okay, so we bringing lies into 2025. That's what we bringing.
It ain't 2025 yet. Okay, we got lies.
At the time of recording this, it is December 20th, and Eryka is still lying about her age.
I'm just saying, okay.
No, but yeah, I have seen like a lot of growth in you, especially like with your boundaries and not allowing folks to guilt trip you, or you know what I mean? Like I think I'm super proud. Like the day when I said to you that I'm so proud of you, like I was so proud of you for doing what you wanted to do. You are making moves, literally and figuratively, that you want to do because it pleases Eryka, not because of, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this because that looks weird, or can I say it? Can I say what it is? I don't want to tell you business. Can I say what I'm proud about?
Which
the
part?
Black girl luxury?
No, not yet.
Okay, fine.
Not yet. It's a Rolls Royce, y'all. No, it's not.
Got a little Rolls Royce.
No, not yet. Because people go want to,
Okay. No, yeah. I feel you. And that's another thing that I'm leaving in 2024, telling all my damn business, because some people just don't need to know. Some people just don't need to know.
Those who need to know will know. And I got a lot of heat about that too. Like, oh, you didn't say anything, or it'll be 6 months later, like, you did what? The ones who need to know will know. So, but
I'm a huge benefit of the doubt person in many situations. There are a few where you will see me not exercising that. And I like to believe that when people do stuff like that, that is coming from a genuine place, in that they're not necessarily trying to hold you back, but they're speaking from their own limitations or from their own lack mindset. So when they come, what you mean you got a conference? That's a lot of work. You can't be doing that. What you mean you're starting a new business? Well, that's gonna get you into a hole. You got taxes, and what you gonna do about health insurance? And then you heard the voice I use. That's my impersonation of the people who do that. I like to believe that they're coming from a positive place, and I don't know if we was talking about.
I'm sorry.
Y'all are so stupid.
I asked about taxes yesterday. She said, "Don't listen to me, girl. You don't want to get involved with them. Don't listen to me with taxes."
No. But I like to believe that they mean the best. And I don't remember who was talking about it here or in a last conversation about how there's different things that each generation has to overcome. Mm-hmm. And sometimes people, they only got this far, but you're going to go this far. And so because you're going further, they only know about the obstacles and the challenges and the struggles at this level. You don't want to go there because you go down there and that's going to be hard. But they don't know, how to get around that. They don't know you might have already gotten around that. Your
Mhm.
obstacles are not the same ones, and maybe they did work that help you, those obstacles no longer be so challenging, but they speak with authority from their limitations.
Right.
And so that's what then encourages people like me to sometimes decide to shrink. So no, not only am I no longer shrinking, but what I am going to take into 2025 is the ability to speak from a place of authority from my expansive mindset. Because if you're able to speak that boldly and that powerfully about what I shouldn't do, or about, oh, you done got your little, oh, you think you're so smart, you done got your little, so now you got this degree. And when you gonna be done with school? Like, you got all of that to say, I'm going to be equally as loud and be like, yes, I done went and I got me another one and I'm on my way. You know what I mean? Like,
Another
I'm
one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and be loud about it as well. And you can tell from when I was talking about shrinking, that's still a challenge for me, because what I'm fighting
Mm-hmm.
is that narrative that says, oh, you think you better, or see, you too prideful, or see, that's too boastful. False.
Yeah.
I work
False.
hard.
I
You work hard. Work
And
hard.
whatever I accomplish through all of that hard work, I get to be proud of myself. I don't think I'm anything more or anything better. What I do know is that I worked hard.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
all make choices.
Period. Period.
And that's the thing that bothers me. And I'm not going to sit here and be like we all have the same opportunities, because we don't. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we don't live in a patriarchy and a capitalistic white supremacy anti-black racist society. We're not going to pretend. Okay? But we all make our own choices. And I don't like when folks minimize what I've accomplished because I made certain choices. And I'm not judging. This is not even coming from like a judging standpoint or whatever. But what you're not going to do is tear me down because I have a degree. What you're not going to do is tear me down because I have a business. What you're not going to do is make me feel like I should be ashamed of accomplishing stuff.
Hard.
And
Absolutely.
everything that's positive and luxury ain't white people shit. Can we stop
Hello.
saying that?
Hello.
And here's the thing, and it's not even, and it's like, I hear that from all types of people. I hear that from black folks who got money, black folks who don't have money, young folks, older folks, people in our age group. Are we still walking around calling stuff white people shit? Are we really doing that?
Yeah.
Just say that you don't have the wherewithal to attain what I attain. Just say it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe you don't have the vision, or maybe you don't have the faith, or maybe you don't have the stamina. Whatever it is that's made it so that I have it and you don't, you're the only one that's sweating me. You're the only one that's making it seem problematic. I'm over here like, you can do it. Go. Come on. I'll help you. I'm over here like, come on, let's all go. Realizing that I can no longer make myself responsible for us all going, but I'm a cheer like a motherfucker. You feel what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Listen. I agree. And that brings me to my other point. What I'm leaving, another thing that I'm leaving in 2024 is I'm going to stop wanting stuff more for people than they want it for themselves. I'm just going to stop doing that.
My God, my God.
And it's literally like no, and I'm really not trying to be petty. It's literally no tea, no shade, but it's like I'm gonna stop trying to be a problem solver for unless someone explicitly says, Regina, can you show me how to do X, Y, and Z? I'm not gonna offer it. One, because I don't want to overstep boundaries because it's intrusive, right? To just impose, just assume that somebody
Yeah,
wants your help, right? It's
yeah.
intrusive. Number one, and number two is I can be a cheerleader for you and I can be a champion for you, but I'm not going to be on the top of the pyramid while you in the bleachers.
right.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Or in another city, you're not even in the stadium. You're not even in the
Hell, you're not
area.
even in the stadium.
Where are you?
I'm gonna
I
give
want
y'all another example, and I know this nigga's lurking, so I don't even give a fuck because I'm on my niggas ain't shit train. So I'm gonna give y'all a prime example. Cool was like, what happened? I hate y'all so much. I hate y'all, but love y'all so much. I know he lurking and lurk away, lurk away,
So
lurk
management
away,
company is going to tell us no more venues. Okay.
lurk away, my G. Anywho, so there was a guy that I was dating that when I tell you this man was talented, I'm saying talented. And he had a podcast. And he he had like a retail type job. So he wasn't making like a lot of money or whatever. And he was trying to figure out how to make money like, through his podcast. I don't know if his goal was to eventually leave that job, but anyway, he wanted to make more money. And so I told him like, oh well, there's ways you and he had like a lot of like cute, catchy like sayings and stuff that he was saying on the podcast or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that'll be dope on a t-shirt. And he even showed me t-shirt designs that he's done. I was like, oh wait, you already designed stuff? And I was like, well, maybe one day you can come over and I can show you how I have my stuff set up. They come over my house, bring your laptop. He said, oh, I don't have a laptop. I said, what do you mean? I was like, how you got a whole podcast and you
With a
graphic
face.
design and stuff and you ain't got a laptop? He was like, oh, I do all that from my phone. So not only are you fucking raw talent, but you don't even have a computer and you're still doing this stuff. So you are smart and talented.
Yeah.
This is the picture I'm trying to paint for y'all. So I was like, can you imagine if this fool had a whole setup? How much money he could make? And mind you, we're this is like early on in the relationship, so I don't want to be like super like do this, do this, do this. But I'm like, yo, when I see another black person that has talent, and if I have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to help them monetize that talent, I'm not a gatekeeper. Who am I, right? And this person had a child, so it's like that's more money for the baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, this is what I'm thinking about, right? So he would come over, and this is before I was like fully sober. So we smoking and drinking, eating, fucking. But when you want me to show you how to set up the podcast so we can monetize it. Oh, well, next time I come over, okay. Next time we smoking and drinking and fucking, mind you.
And eating.
Shut up, Regina. Just shut up. Focus on the story. Anyway, so after like the third or fourth time, I stopped asking because
Yeah.
clearly you're fine. I can't want this for you more than you want it for yourself.
Yeah.
Because what you really is you wanted one or two things. You were just talking.
Of course.
You were just either talking or you wanted me to do it for you and you reap the benefit. It's one of those two. It's
Yeah.
one of those two.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's something I learned coaching people. There's a lot of lessons I learned in that space is I can fully believe in you and I can fully believe that if you just do blah blah blah, you are gonna blow this world like you're gonna do your big one. But if you're not showing up for yourself, I can't continue to overextend. And there are some coaches that will do that. They'll take your money, knowing good and well you're not gonna take that step. I cannot do that
Do that.
because I just can't. I ain't gonna start talking about stuff, but I just can't do that. So I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be a bigger cheerleader for you. I can't want for you more than you want for yourself. I can feel disappointment. I can feel sadness that you didn't match whatever potential or whatever possibility you possess, but I'm not gonna overextend myself to make sure it happens for you because that's taken away from the things that I need to do for myself.
Exactly. And brings it back to one of the points Erica had brought up about energy vampires.
mm,
When someone says to me, oh my God, I just love your energy, I get super weary. If they
Wow.
don't have the, I do. If they don't have the same type of energy I have, and when I say energy, I don't necessarily mean like a bubbly personality. What I mean is if you're not someone who's about your business, is a go-getter, is positive, is kind, because I'm reserved and I'm introverted. Erica's bubbly. You're silly, but we all have the same energy, but just in different ways. So if you don't have that same energy and you tell me, "Ooh, I like your energy," mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm.
That's
That means you're
deep.
trying to suck me dry. Mm-mm, mm-mm,
That's deep.
mm-mm, mm-mm,
Okay, I done learned something. You done learned me something on today.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't stand y'all.
I- yeah.
I
No, that's
can't.
deep.
Yeah, of course you like my energy because you don't fucking have it. You want to
Or you want
suck
to
it
dim
from
it.
me.
Right. You want to dim
And
it.
you want to dim it. And where that's connecting for me in my brain, first of all, I'm looking at several people across the span of
Mm,
my life. They need that from you because they can't move forward in anything they want to do unless they have what you have. And so they figure out how to position themselves in your life so that they can motivate themselves. And I don't be paying attention. There's people like, oh, you got such and such, and now now I want to go do it. And that looks different. That looks different to the point that you're making. Some people are like, wow, you did it. Okay, I'm going to go do it myself. And other people that want to stay up under you so that they can get it done. Wow. Okay. Message
see,
received.
I think I talked about this
listen.
before that obviously I'm bubbly, like Regina said. I grew up always happy and positive and friendly. And growing up, I'm in South Florida. So growing up and being, nice and friendly, it's like, oh, you too friendly, or you can't talk to everybody, or you friendly, and like it's a bad thing. So again, it's my natural personality to just be a kind person and just want everybody else. Well, yeah, I want everybody else to be happy, but I want to be happy too. So as I've gotten older, it's not that I use my kindness and my niceness to get me what I want. But if you're nice to people, they will genuinely help you, or they will talk to you or tell you little tidbits to help you out. Like, oh, hey, you're in a grocery store. Oh, don't go down that aisle because there's some water. You might tip and fall. I don't know. Something. If you're nice and not an asshole to people and you are just saying hi, you're just being friendly in that manner, you get a lot further in life versus you just being somebody who's stuck up in a sense of, I don't want to talk to nobody, or she thinks she's better than everybody. I'm not go do whatever. And you being an energy snatcher. And people tell me all the time, oh, you're so happy all the time. Oh, I love your energy. I love your positivity. And I think about it, and I'm just like, after you told me that, Regina, I was like, wait a minute. So why can't
Yeah.
you be? What's stopping you from that?
What's stopping you from being that way?
Right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Which
That's the
brings me to that.
question.
When I first got into tech, I think I've talked about it before. When I got into tech, first of all, everybody named mama think that you in tech, that means you sitting at home and you ain't doing nothing, you twiddling your thumbs. That is far from the truth.
Telling people to turn it off, turn it on. Did you unplug it?
Here to tell you this lovely, what's today? Friday. That ain't what it is. Okay. And if there is a job out there like that, please let me know where it is because it ain't mine. So people are like, oh, you in tech? Oh, well, you work from home and da 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 da. Oh, I want to get in tech. I want to get in tech. And so then Eryka being happy and jolly and all that, I want to give all the information away and telling you what to do. So you calling me, asking me questions, or write me on Facebook and Instagram and wherever else. Can you talk to me about whatever? I'm talking to you for 2 hours, telling you play by play, giving you all the links, giving you a whole Google document or whatever it is, sending it to you, telling you do this. And most of the stuff is free. And then you go about your business, and guess who I don't hear from no more? So now I done wasted my asthmatic ass breath. Okay. Wasting my asthmatic breath and talking to you, telling you all these things because you see my life. You're like, oh, you doing your thing. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, well, it ain't really all that it's cracked up to be because I still have things. Well, yeah.
Right.
Whatever. But my mentor told me after a while when I kept telling her that, people kept coming to me asking me and trying to like get those tidbits. She said, you need to stop. She said, you need to put a link in your bio. Or if somebody contacts you, you need to send them a link of a Calendly and a link to pay. If they're serious, they will pay. So you have to, the game is to be sold and not told. And I believe that.
That's some way back game right there.
That's like Players Club stuff.
Yeah.
The game is to be sold, not told. Like, stop giving away everything because all these resources that I'm giving you, I've done the work and finding these things to help me. And now I'm trying to tell you what to do. I'm giving you the whole playbook. And you just like, oh, screw you. But you
I have
want
a
my
really,
energy though.
yeah, I have a really good friend. This woman is talented. This woman is talented. And people do that very thing. They'll call and be like, girl, how you doing? Girl, what's up? Da-da-da. I got a question for you real quick. That right.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, how do I stop people from doing? You're not going to be able to stop them from doing that. What you do to give them a hint that they can't do that for you anymore is exactly what Eryka just said. What you do is you tell them, oh, well, you know what? This is what I can tell you. You can Google boop 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 out, but that sounds something like what I offer in my program. I'll tell you what, won't you book some time with me? And
Here's a link.
I can break you off. At the end of the day, that's the same reason why I created pick your brain session. Because can
Mm-hmm.
I real quick? You sure can. I'm gonna send you
Oh,
my
they
stripe.
always say that. Can I pick your brain? That
Yeah,
is
inside the Calendly is a link for my stripe. You click it and you can pay to pick my brain. It's no longer free. It's no longer free. I'm gonna give you a little something because I do understand that sometimes everybody ain't got everything. So I'm gonna give you a little something. And I have this process. I ain't gonna say it too loud because I don't want people to know what I do. But I have a way of testing people to see if they serious.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I'm not even gonna coach you if you're not serious. I don't want your money if all you want to do is take my energy. I'm using that
Mm-hmm.
terminology. I don't want your money if you're just going to waste my time. The seeds that I plant produce. And that
Mm-hmm.
is all that I want to work with is people who are really wanting to produce something. So you want to pick my brain, you want to holler at me real quick, you want to ask me
your
something.
question. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
I want
But
to
I don't
catch
have
up.
answers. I don't have many answers unless you own that stripe. Run me my money.
Yo, facts. And here's the thing, like with me, like I am not a gatekeeper. So if someone asks me for like guidance and help, I am gonna help. I will I'm not gonna say I am. I will help them and I will not charge them. However, to
Mm.
your point, Akua, if I feel like I'm gonna be wanting this for them more than they want it for themselves, or they just trying to suck my energy, I will absolutely put a paywall in front of it because I will
Yeah,
take your money.
yeah.
I will take your money.
And I think it's because I want to say, like, this is how we get gas. They gaslight us a little bit because they tell us that we're gatekeeping, and in some
Hmm.
ways, yes, in some ways,
In
but
some
it's such
ways,
a nuance there. There's such a nuance, and we get to define for ourselves. One person who's willing to share information, and another person, two different people,
I
get it
agree.
how you live it, right? But I think that we one of the ways that we can decide what we are and are not taking into 2025 is to really have a conversation with ourselves
Hmm.
to define those things for ourselves. And so if something that I'm looking at is not gatekeeping or what have you, what does it mean to me to gatekeep? What
Hmm.
does it mean to me to share freely? What does it mean to me to throw up that pay link, right? I get to make that decision for myself. This is how we step outside of a lot of those stereotypes and tropes that are prevalent in this society. Is what is the definition for you and what is your boundary? I don't like when people keep asking me all the time for to pick my brain. So my boundary is I'm gonna answer two questions and then you're gonna pay me. Right? Like whatever that looks like for you, then you make that decision and then you decide how you want to move forward. It is not gatekeeping. If you're willing,
Right.
I'm willing to share, but you got to pay me. That's not
Time.
gatekeeping.
Because time.
It's
I got,
time, it's effort, it's energy,
And it's your asthmatic voice,
oh,
the lungs.
and it's care, right? Because
gotta
you
pay for that.
wouldn't share the information if you didn't care about that person, whether they're a family member or a stranger on the street. Because if you want to help another human being, you obviously care. And
But
you're
you also
not
want
going
them
to
to do the
flush
work.
my care. You're not going to trust my care down the toilet.
Yeah, you want them to do the
I mean,
work though. I'm not gonna give you everything, and then
right.
what's the next step? Like, no, you got to put some oil on this machine too.
Period.
Exactly. And so,
Okay.
speaking of care, we have a virtual masterclass coming up called Five Ways to Slay Your Self Care in 2025 and beyond. And if you struggle with the boundaries, putting up the paywalls, tired of people trying to pick your brain,
I still
sign up
love
for
it.
this. Sign up for the class. There is a paywall on this class, but it's nominal. It's only like $20. So,
A
oh,
little
but
bit.
if you're just get your little $20. We stupid. Um, get your little $20 and sign up. No, for real. But if you are a member of the Strong Black Women Support Group, you can attend this virtual masterclass absolutely free. Um, if you want more information on how to join our support group, you can go to mindfulandmylady.com. I will put up the website, but and I'm going to leave this on here. If you just want to attend the masterclass, you don't want to join the group, you can also just sign up directly. It's only like $20. And again, we are going to talk about different ways to um, be intentional about our self care. So,
Can I say my favorite part about the support group?
yeah, say it.
My favorite part of the Strong Black Woman Support Group is the co-working sessions. Okay.
Hmm.
I am a girl who gets distracted and I'm not getting paid for this. It's not a ad or anything, or paid promotion. Just saying. Paywall. But paywall. But I truly believe that co-working in the support group has helped me so much being productive. Just overall, been very, it helped me be productive, helps me get things done, and it holds me accountable. Because even if people's cameras are off and I see that the screen is on, I'm like, somebody's looking at me. I gotta do my work. I gotta make sure I'm doing my work. So it's like holding you accountable, and it's not, there may be, some highs and, hey, how you doing, and y'all good or whatever, but for the most part, we're buckled down, we're doing our work, and just holding each other accountable, because it can get lonely when you are working from home. And so it's like, if you don't have a coworker that's nearby to make sure you're good, having somebody on the screen also doing their own work. We don't work together or anything. Doing their own work, you're doing your work. It's like getting you in a groove of things, and you're getting stuff done. So that's my favorite part about the support group, and I love it. I love it.
I'm so glad you said that too, because I think sometimes when people hear support group, they think of like a group therapy or a process group where we're talking about feelings and or venting or whatever. But just us going on that virtual co-working space is support, because like you said, sometimes you lose focus or whatever, and you just being in that virtual co-working space has helped you be more productive. And so we haven't only done like our work, because all of us work from home. So it's not just like the work that we do for our businesses or our day jobs, but there were times where we have done like purging. Like one time I had to, like when Eryka says I created this for myself, I literally created this for myself. Like I needed to clean. I had a walk-in closet that you can't walk in. So and I and I needed help getting shit out so I could walk in. And so one day the two of us I was like, okay, could we set this up, the co-working space, but not for us to do our work, but for us to clean our apartments. And so I was cleaning up my closet. I think Eryka, you was
Also,
cleaning out your
my
living
closet too.
room.
My
Oh, you were
closet.
doing your closet too. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so and we got it done. Like that closet was trashy and nasty and disorganized, and I found stuff in there. I was like, ooh, I got a Fitbit.
Hello. I told you to
I
find that
know.
damn thing.
I know. I was like, oh, I got a whole Fitbit. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, we got it done.
What happened to my computer? Is y'all there?
We
Oh
hear you
no.
frozen, girl.
Casper done came in and cut my stuff
Uh-uh.
off.
Don't be blaming Casper, the friendly ghost.
I can hear
I
y'all, but
love
I
the way
can't see
she
nothing.
laughs.
Me?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I love the way you laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what this Mindful Minute and the Strong Black Support Group is all about. It's not us just, and I'm not saying just like talking about our feelings. It's not. It's very important, but I feel like what we're trying to cultivate with this space is a holistic approach to us getting the support that we need. Because there was one time, Akuba, you were on there and you asked a question, and we were like, "Oh yeah," we kind of like troubleshooted it in real time. It took like 5 minutes, and then we all went back on mute and went back to work. So, so yeah. So anyway, thank you for sharing your experience, Eric. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah. And I would say, if there's some mornings that I'm not up and ready, I will definitely get a message from Regina. Hello, where you at? You getting on? What are you doing? Hello, where are you? I'm like, I'm coming.
Hello.
So yeah, and it
Yeah.
will sometimes,
So
it just get things done. So I really appreciate that.
yeah, yeah. Thank you for saying that. So we've been chatting for about an hour and 15 minutes, and we talked. I think we had a fruitful conversation about what we planning on leaving behind and what we plan on bringing forward in 2025. Um, does anyone have any like final thoughts about what we talked about?
I'm just excited for 2025, and yeah, my little Rolls Royce.
With your little Rolls Royce?
I can.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say, like, people say New Year's resolutions. I don't even think of it that way. I just think, you're going into a new
Mm,
year and you're setting your intentions, setting your
mm,
intentions for the
mm-hmm.
year. And I remember, Gina, you mentioned about oh, it wasn't manifesting, law of attraction. So in thinking positive, one of the things that I also want to do, as much as I talk out loud in doubting myself and saying, "Oh, you can't do that," "Oh, you can't do that," I want to be a little louder in 2025, of piping myself up, like, "Girl, you got that going on with your bad self." Da, 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 da. So as much as I talk myself out of things and saying, "Oh, I can't do that," or whatever, I want to hype myself up and be louder in the positive and manifesting what I can do.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I mean, I'm really good at hyping myself up now. Like, remember that show Insecure when Issa Rae would be in the mirror? Like, when I tell you I do that times 1,000,
Amen.
I be cracking up at myself. I be like, Regina, you stupid. Stop. I be like, look at you, girl. Your booty's rare. You smart. You cleaned your house. You ate a salad for dinner, and you know how to fuck, girl.
You all right? Oh,
Check,
no.
please.
I told you it was times 1,000. Listen,
We gotta hype ourselves up. I
we
it's
have to.
crazy how I see some things like that. Like, I'm gonna say two things. One, absolutely have to hype ourselves up. The voice that cheers for us the loudest has to be us. It has to be my own voice.
Mm,
I have to hear my own voice hyping me up. Because in real life, not everybody's gonna hype up the things that are hypeable. You know what I'm saying? Some people are gonna be absent when it comes time to applauding for me. I don't want to have to what's the word, require that from somebody. I want to hear my
exactly.
own voice, and
Exactly.
so I definitely, I'm in the mirror like Issa was. I might write a poem about myself. I might literally be in here talking to myself, be like, okay, so you did that. Okay, I'm proud of you. You said you was gonna do it and you did it. You better go, girl, right?
All
Talking to
right.
myself like that. The other piece, in response to something that Eryka said, um, it doesn't have to just be New Year's. We've become
Hmm.
accustomed to it happening at the end of the year. So that's mainly why I participate in stuff like this. But I'll see myself in April. I'll see myself in October. I'll see myself in whenever it hits, as they used to say in the church, whenever the spirit moves, huh? Whenever it moves, I'm gonna do what I need to do to set whatever intention, or to say, you know what I'm not bringing into next week with me. You know what I'm not bringing into,
What I'm not going to
Mm,
do,
you know what
that.
I'm saying? I gotta set, no matter where, because it's 365 days in a year. So says Anita Baker, right? So if I wait a whole 365, right? I told y'all songs every time.
I
If I
love
wait a
them.
whole 365, how far back am I setting myself? Once I notice that thing needs to change, I don't want to do that no more. It's not giving me what I thought it should have gave. I'm dead in it. I'm done with it. I'm not bringing that. I'm not bringing that into tomorrow. So give yourself permission to big yourself up, not needing anybody
Big
else's
go
voice.
back. Sorry.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So big up your accomplishments and unbig your back. Is that the message we're trying to get to people?
Self care.
I'm just saying. Big yourself up and make the changes, pivot when you feel it. When you see it ain't working, do something different.
And
Exactly.
speaking to that, one thing about it for sure, whether you do it or not, the time is going to pass. So if you say, I want to do X, Y, and Z in 3 months, whether you start on Monday or don't start at all, those 3 months are going to pass. So what do you have to show for it when that time ends, when the time comes?
And we'll.
I think we just ended on that note. That was yeah.
Oh, I got one more thing. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just want to
child,
say,
shut up.
listen, what you say?
I didn't say nothing.
You want to ride my Rolls Royce? You better stop.
Oh,
Listen, I
oh.
was gonna say also in 2025, please surround yourself with good, positive people that hype you up and encourage you to pop your shit. I was thinking about the other day, Regina did a fashion show for me. When I tell you it was the sweetest thing ever. It was just, I don't know, it was like something. She just ran and said, I'm gonna do a fashion show for you. I don't order some clothes. I was like, all right. So she modeling her clothes and she all good. And I was like, yes, come on, you better do this. It was like my own little entertainment, but she felt good, trying on her new clothes, and I felt good. Like, okay, this is my friend got on her clothes, and it's a little walkway and all that. She was modeling, and she felt good, and I had some entertainments. But again, surround
You know
yourself with
what?
people who are
I don't
positive.
know if we ended this on a positive note. I feel like a whole
This was very
circus
positive.
animal. Like,
I was very.
how did we get here?
What do you mean?
How did we get here?
I was gonna do the same thing. But anyways, again, surround yourself with people who make you happy. And I just told them when we were talking earlier that the one thing I love about life is laughing. I just want to laugh for the rest of my life. So
Yeah.
be happy and be positive.
Don't worry, be happy. See, I can sing songs
I
too.
love that song.
Do you really?
Can't be.
Well, thank you.
You
I
can
think
sing
this
that
was a good
song.
conversation. Thank you so much for watching, listening to another episode of the Strong Black Woman Support Group podcast. It is a Mindful and Melanated podcast. Mindful and Melanated is the online community for everything mental health and wellness for Black women. We also have a support group. Eryka talked about it. We do a lot of things. We have the master classes. We have the co-working, the virtual co-working space. So if you are interested, please check us out. We are on Patreon. Join us at patreon.com/strong black woman support group. Thank you, Eryka. Thank you, Akua. And see y'all in 2025. Wait, actually, at the time this is posted, I think it'll be 2025. So see y'all later.